Today, in the first creator sneak peeks for the next Squad Busters update, I'm going to be showing you guys all the gameplay changes and the 4 new heroes. I'll be showing you the hero abilities, turbo changes, best layouts, and how many hero points it will take to max out your heroes. Now, if you buy anything in this update, be sure to use code Claz in the Squad Busters shop, and let's get into the video. Okay, so starting off, before we even get into the new heroes, let me explain how the new fighting system's going to work. So the way that you're going to bust a player now is by killing their hero, not their entire squad. Essentially, the hero is the main thing that they need to keep alive. It's their heart. Now, you might have also noticed in the squad up yesterday that you can actually attack while moving. So let me explain how this works. So if you hold down turbo to run quickly, you cannot attack anyone, unless of course you're using one of the hero abilities that you can aim, but it's just normal squad busters, you cannot attack anyone. Now, if you're walking, you can attack people while walking, but it's actually at half speed, so it's actually very slow and not worth to walk around someone while attacking them because you're attacking at half the speed. It's only worth it if you're like trying to collect a blue box or kill a small monster on the way to mid. Now, if you stand still, that is when you deal full damage, 100% damage at full speed. So essentially, the game is still stand still to attack. Not much has changed in that regard. Some other gameplay changes include lucky finds being deleted from the game. Chests that you open will now always have an upgrade if available, so if you need to fuse up a unit, it'll make sure you get that. Chest options have now been reduced from 3 to 2 to speed up decision making. If all squaddies in the lineup are picked and upgraded to megas, chests will then be sold out until, I guess, a unit dies and you need it again. Chests will now respawn faster. It used to take 8 seconds to respawn, now it will take 5 seconds, and in the final minute, it used to take 4 seconds, now it'll take 3 seconds. And if a squaddie dies, your next chest will guaranteed give you that squaddie so you can get it back in your squad. Also, chest prices are being changed as well, so smaller squads are going to be easier to upgrade, bigger squads are going to be harder to upgrade. So it's going to go from 3 coins, then 3 coins, then 5, then 10, then 20, then 35, and then the most expensive price is 50. You also can still choose your rotation for Squad League. As you guys can see here, I've got Trader, Poco, Chicken, Frank, Wizard, Bandit, Colonel Russ, Max, and B, and so far I think this is the best rotation in the game. Trader is OP, and you'll find out why tomorrow. But in games such as Duo Gem Hunt, you cannot choose your own rotation. You see, if I tap on it, I cannot change it. And that's the same with Gem Hunt and Showdown. Now, the next change that we have has got to do with Turbo. Now, personally, I really hate this change, but this might turn out to be fun when we get into some games. It's something that we'll just have to see. But essentially, a turbo boot now is a consumable. So instead of getting a turbo boot that regenerates, they just do not regenerate anymore. So that means once you've used the turbo boot, it is gone. You don't get it back unless you can get another one again. So as you guys can see here, you actually start a game off with 1 turbo boot, and this turbo boot does actually regenerate. But if you then decide to pick up a second turbo boot, let's say from a blue box, then boom, that second turbo boot, as you can see here, will not regenerate. It will go back down to 1, and then only the first turbo boot will regenerate. Now, we'll get into hero abilities in just a little bit, but if you max out a hero, you can actually start off with 2 turbo boots, and both of these 2 turbo boots will regenerate. But then if you get more than 2, they won't regenerate. But we'll get to that in a minute. Also, turbo is limited to 6 boots, so you cannot hold more than 6 turbo boots at once. And turbo is now only a speed mechanic. It does not make you attack any faster. If you hold down turbo while in a fight, it will just simply not work. Anyways, I'm not allowed to get in depth with the characters in this video, of course, because that's on tomorrow's video, but certain characters like the chicken are going to become very good because obviously they give you turbo boots in every single chest that you get. Anyway, so that's enough of the gameplay changes. Let's now move into the 4 new heroes. All right, so moving on to heroes, there are 4 new heroes into the game. They are on screen right here, and it is Barbarian King, Archer Queen, Mortis, and the Royale King. So let's start off with the Barbarian King. If I go to details, you can see he is a fighter who deals 480 damage and has 7,200 health. Now, his main ability is an Iron Fist dash that will make him dash to wherever you are aiming, and this will deal knockback, a small stun, and some splash damage. Now, every hero in the game, including the Barbarian King, is going to be getting 5 powers, 5 traits, and 3 turbo abilities. So essentially, a power makes the hero better, a trait makes all other fighting squaddies better, which are the normal troops, and then turbo, well, just makes the turbo better. So for the Barbarian King, at power 1, he will charge into foes with an explosive mega punch. That's what we just spoke about. At power 2, that mega punch recharges 20% faster. At power 3, mega punch deals 20% extra damage and smashes a bigger area. At power 4, busting foes recharges mega punch by 10%. 30%. And at power 5, squaddies get enraged after Mega Punch. Moving on to traits, trait 1 will give fighter squaddies 15% extra health. And by the way, for example, the Barbarian is a fighter unit, so he would get 15% extra health. At trait 2, he will give fighter squaddies 15% extra attack speed. At trait 3, the Barbarian King will get 20% extra health. At trait 4, he will increase extra attack speed given to fighter squaddies from 15 to 30%. And at trait 5, he will increase extra health given to fighter squaddies to 30%. At turbo 1, he will give the squad a 50% speed boost. At turbo 2, turbo will recharge 15% faster. And at turbo 3, he increases starting turbo charges by 1. Now each hero, as you can see here, actually has 45 upgrades that you can get. And they're going to be split between 8 pages. You see, there's a different page that has a bunch more abilities. Although you'll also notice, in order to unlock the next page of abilities, you actually have to unlock rewards from the previous page. You see here, I need to collect 1 reward from the previous page, then I need to collect 5 rewards, then I need to collect 10. And this here is to stop you just buying the good abilities and then ignoring all the bad stuff. For example here, who wants to buy an emote? You just want to buy the power upgrade. Now, in order to fully max out the Barbarian King and, well, all the heroes, you actually need around 95,000 hero points, which, by the way, is crazy expensive, especially when you consider the compensation for having maxed out ultimates in the old system is about 25,000 hero points only, and you only get about 500 a day from quests. Anyways, on screen here, you can see all the page rewards if you want to pause and read. This is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, and that's it. Now, you will notice you can actually get skins in the game. For example, the Sunburned Barbarian skin. Now, if you already have the Sunburned Barbarian skin right now, you don't have to buy it in the hero journey, meaning maxing out your heroes is going to be cheaper because you need less rewards to unlock the next page. So all you need to know is if you have every skin and every emote in the game already unlocked, maxing out a hero isn't going to be 95,000 hero points. It might be like, what, 85,000, 80,000? Next up, we're moving on to the Archer Queen, who is a hot shot. She deals 840 damage and has 6,500 health, and she has crazy damage, by the way. But her main ability is she has a sniper arrow, which actually has really long range and deals high damage and not bad. Her sniper arrow will then split into 3 smaller arrows on impact or once it reaches its range limit. And each of these smaller arrows deal 50% less damage than the big arrow itself. And by the way, the big arrow deals 1,500 damage, so 750 damage per small arrow. At power 1, she fires a powerful X-Snipe bolt with deadly precision, and that's the ability I just spoke about. At power 2, her X-Snipe charges up to 2 times. At power 3, her X-Snipe recharges 20% faster. At power 4, busting a squad unit recharges X-Snipe by 20%. And at power 5, her X-Snipe can recharge up to 3 times. Trait 1 will give hotshot squaddies 15% extra attack speed, and by the way, remember, a hotshot unit, for example, would be a Colt, so a Colt will attack 15% faster. Trait 2 will give hotshot squaddies 15% extra health. Trait 3, the Archer Queen gets 25% extra attack speed. Trait 4 increases extra health given to hotshot squaddies to 30%. And trait 5 will increase extra attack speed given to hotshot squaddies to 30%. And then the turbo is the same as, well, the Barbarian King, gives the squad a 50% speed boost. Then turbo recharges 50% faster. And then the final one increases starting turbo charges by 1. And then for people who want to see all of her rewards, they are here on screen as well. This is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4, this is page 5, this is page 6, this is page 7, and this is page 8. And by the way, the Archer Queen gold skin looks so sick. In fact, all the gold skins look sick. The third new hero that I'm showing off is going to be Mortis, and as you can see, he is a summoner. He deals 670 damage and has 5,800 health. Now, he actually has 2 abilities, one main ability, and then like a unique turbo ability. So his main ability is you can launch a swarm of bats in the direction that you aim. They will then attack the enemy and then come back to you after a little while. So power 1 sends summoned units attacking in a monster charge. That's the ability I just spoke about. Power 2 heals himself for 50% of damage dealt by bats. Power 3, summoning from a tombstone recharges monster charge by 50%. That's when you like kill a player. Power 4 increases the maximum bats to 7. Normally you get 5. And power 5, monster charge summons an additional giant bat. Trait number 1 will summon up to 5 bats from tombstones. Trait 2 will give summoned units 20% extra damage. Trait Trait 3 will give summoner squaddies 20% extra attack speed. And by the way, another example, the Dr. T is the summoner, so he would deal 20% extra attack speed. Trait 4 will give summoned units 20% extra health, and Trait 5 will summon bats from busted monsters. Now, Turbo 1 is a really cool ability and the only unique turbo ability out of all the heroes, but he will charge up a dash attack while giving the squad a 100% speed boost. Now, this here is actually his second main ability, and it works a little bit like the old miner. So you can actually hold down Turbo, which charges up his attacking ability, and then once you let go of Turbo, he will do a little twirl in the sky that will actually stun units around him, so like an old miner. Turbo 2, Turbo recharges 15% faster, and Turbo 3 increases starting turbo charges by 1. And of course, again, if you want to see all his rewards, they're on screen right here. This is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4, this is page 5, this is page 6, this is page 7, and this is page 8. Okay, so the fourth and final hero getting added is the Royal King, and he's going to be a supplier. He deals 170 attack damage, which is horrendous, by the way, and he has 6,700 health. Now, yes, his damage is bad, but that's because he spawns in recruits that follow you around that actually also do damage, so his damage is probably more like, well, a lot higher than 175. Now, his main ability is he has a Royal Recruit spell that can be dropped on enemies to spawn an elite Royal Recruit. This spell also does splash damage and a bit of knockback. He also has Royal Recruits that just follow him around the squad, which is actually a little bit like the old Mega Royal Recruit, if any of you guys remember this. And this is why he actually probably does more damage than 175. At power 1, he will deploy an elite recruit with a smashing Royal Delivery. That's the ability I just said. At power 2, every coin collected recharges the Royal Delivery 3% faster. At power 3, the Royal Delivery charges up to 3 times. At power 4, the Royal Delivery deals 25% extra damage and hits a bigger area. And at power 5, opening a chest recharges 1 Royal Delivery. Trait 1, chests summon Royal Recruits that earn coins by attacking. Trait 2 gives supplier squaddies 20% extra attack speed. And by the way, again, an example of a supplier would be the trader. He would deal 20% extra attack speed. Trait 3, chests summon an extra elite recruit. Trait 4 gives supplier squaddies 20% extra health. Trait 5 increases elite recruits summoned when picking a supplier to 2. Turbo 1 gives the squad a 50% speed boost. Turbo 2 recharges 15% faster, and Turbo 3 increases starting turbo charges by 1. And then here are the 8 pages of rewards. This is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4, this is page 5, this is page 6, this is page 7, and this is page 8. And by the way, for people wondering, there's actually going to be 1 new emote for each new hero. So some of these emotes here are going to be emotes you might already have unlocked and you wouldn't actually have to buy. Now, the main way that you're going to be getting hero points now is from quests. And as you can see here, there's going to be a beginner challenge that everybody's going to be getting for the first week. And you complete 9 quests a day, and then you unlock a reward. So you can see here, 90, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, and boom, I get a Greg. And then these are going to be the rewards for day 2. And these are going to be the rewards for day 3. These are going to be the rewards for day 4. And something that you'll notice actually is you can actually refresh a quest once a day for free, and then you actually have to spend 500 coins on it. But what I would suggest you do, because of how hard it is to get hero points, you can't pay to win to get them, at least for the most part. I would actually refresh all your quests until they give you 90. You see there? 90. That way you're getting the best amount of value. And those are the only 4 days of quests I can show you. The rest we'll just find out whenever they happen. Other ways you can get hero points is from the new Pinata event coming out, the gem pass, and there might be some shop offers where you can buy hero points, but you can't do what I did with like the last ultimates that got added and just spend $7,000 to max out all your heroes all at once anymore. Compensation time. So for everybody who has lost Kings, the Queen, and Mortis, you'll be getting compensated from 1 baby to 1 hero point. So this means if you had an Ultimate Archer Queen, you will now get 10,000 hero points. And by the way, this means for anybody who's 100% maxed out, you will get 22,000 hero points in total. 10,000 per Ultimate, 1,000 per Ultra. Also, you'll receive some other random Ultras as well. So if you actually lost an Ultimate Archer Queen, you'll receive 10 new random Ultras. And remember, you only need 3 Ultras to max out a unit now. So getting 9 Ultras for losing 1 Ultimate is going to result in you getting 3 new ultimate. Now, as you can see, to max out a unit now costs 8,100 babies in total. The old system was 10,000 babies. So essentially now it is more expensive to get classics and supers, but way cheaper to get ultras and ultimates. So this means anybody who's watching, I would store all your babies in supers because that's going to get you the best value once the update drops. Also, a lot of people are worried that star chests have got removed from the game. They haven't been removed from the game. As you can see, they're here in the menu, but I'll get more information on that tomorrow. And this here is going to be the layout that I'm going to use before I get into a game. We've got B, Arch Queen, Colonel Ruffs, and I've got a Shelly ability and a B ability, but I'll actually be uploading a video on gameplay later today, so stay tuned for that. For now though, I can't show you guys any of the troop abilities or, well, the troop abilities that you can use with your heroes because that's going to be in tomorrow's sneak peek video. Anyways, thanks for watching it. I'm going to upload a gameplay video later today. If that video is ready, it'll be on screen here. If that video isn't ready, well then you can't see it. It'll be out in like just a couple hours. Just stay tuned and like subscribe to my channel and you'll see it.